Hello and welcome to A Course in Miracles in Practice. We're so pleased you're here to delve into the practical application of the Course.
Think of this as a guided journey, a step-by-step exploration of one of the most powerful spiritual texts out there.
Each day, we consider a new lesson from the workbook with the intention of bringing its wisdom into our lives in tangible ways.
We invite you to join us as we discover how these teachings can lead to profound inner transformation and lasting peace.
Today, we're going to be diving into a concept from the Course that I think you'll find really powerful and practical.
Absolutely. We're going to be looking closely at Lesson 107, which focuses on this idea, this principle, that truth will correct all errors in my mind.
And we're going to explore not just what that means theoretically, but how we can actually apply this principle in our daily lives.
Exactly, because the Course is all about practical application, right? So we'll look at some specific situations that we all face, like self-doubt, stress, relationship challenges, and fear of the future. But first things first, let's hear the lesson itself.
All right, here is Lesson 107 from A Course in Miracles.
Truth will correct all errors in my mind. What can correct illusions but the truth? And what are errors but illusions which remain unrecognized for what they are? Where truth has entered, errors disappear. They merely vanish, leaving not a trace by which to be remembered. They are gone because without belief they have no life, and so they disappear to nothingness, returning whence they came. From dust to dust they come and go, for only truth remains.
Can you imagine what a state of mind without illusions is? How it would feel? Try to remember when there was a time, perhaps a minute, maybe even less, when nothing came to interrupt your peace, when you were certain you were loved and safe. Then try to picture what it would be like to have that moment be extended to the end of time and to eternity. Then let the sense of quiet that you felt be multiplied 100 times, and then be multiplied another 100 more. And now you have a hint, not more than just the faintest intimation, of the state your mind will rest in when the truth has come.
Without illusions, there could be no fear, no doubt, and no attack. When truth has come, all pain is over, for there is no room for transitory thoughts and dead ideas to linger in your mind. Truth occupies your mind completely, liberating you from all beliefs in the ephemeral. They have no place because the truth has come, and they are nowhere. They cannot be found, for truth is everywhere, forever now.
When truth has come, it does not stay a while to disappear or change to something else. It does not shift and alter in its form, nor come and go and come again. It stays exactly as it always was, to be depended on in every need, and trusted with a perfect trust in all the seeming difficulties and the doubts which the appearances the world presents engender. They will merely blow away when truth corrects the errors in your mind.
When truth has come, it harbors in its wings the gift of perfect constancy and love which does not falter in the face of pain, but looks beyond it steadily and sure. Here is the gift of healing. For the truth needs no defense, and therefore no attack is possible. Illusions can be brought to truth to be corrected, but the truth stands far beyond illusions and cannot be brought to them to turn them into truth.
Truth does not come and go, nor shift, nor change, in this appearance now and then in that, evading capture and escaping grasp. It does not hide. It stands in open light, in obvious accessibility. It is impossible that anyone could seek it truly and would not succeed.
Today belongs to truth. Give truth its due, and it will give you yours. You are not meant to suffer and to die. Your Father wills these dreams be gone. Let truth correct them all. We do not ask for what we do not have. We merely ask for what belongs to us, that we may recognize it as our own.
That lesson really lays out a powerful perspective on the nature of truth and its ability to transform our experience.
Yeah, and one thing that really stands out to me is how the lesson positions truth, not as something we need to go out and search for, like kind of external treasure hunt. It's already present within us. It's the natural corrector of those misperceptions we hold.
It's like the truth is the default setting.
Yeah.
And it's these errors, these illusions that are obscuring it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And think about the way the lesson talks about errors. It's not like they're these big, solid, immovable obstacles. They're described as illusions. And the language used is so interesting. They vanish, they disappear without a trace, almost as if they never really existed in the first place.
Right, right. It's like they only have the power we give them. And the moment we recognize them for what they are, illusions, they just kind of dissolve.
Exactly. And I love that image of the dark room, where it seems like the darkness is a thing itself, but really it's just the absence of light.
Ah, I see what you mean. So the illusions are like that darkness,
Yeah.
and when the light of truth shines in, they're just gone.
What's left? Well, the lesson actually paints a picture of what a mind without illusions might be like. It talks about peace, a sense of safety, and being loved. It's like that deep knowing that everything is okay.
And it's not just some abstract ideal either. It encourages us to remember a time, even a brief moment, when we felt that peace, that certainty, and to imagine extending that moment indefinitely.
Right? Like a glimpse of our true nature. And the lesson emphasizes that this state of peace is not separate from us. It's not something we have to earn or achieve. It's our natural inheritance once the illusions are cleared away.
It's incredibly freeing to think about it that way. All the fear, the doubt, the stress, the pain, it's not inherent to who we are. It's the result of buying into these illusions.
And here's the key. If those negative emotions are a byproduct of holding on to untrue beliefs, then trying to fight them directly, trying to will them away, is kind of like trying to rearrange the furniture in a dark room.
You're just bumping into things, and you're not really changing the underlying problem, which is the lack of light.
Exactly. The solution isn't to struggle with the darkness, but to bring in the light. And in this case, the light is truth. And that's what this lesson is all about.
How do we actually apply this in our lives?
Well, let's look at some specific examples. Let's start with self-doubt, that feeling of not being good enough, not being worthy. We all experience that from time to time.
Oh, yeah. Self-doubt is something I know all too well.
Right. It can be so crippling. But the truth is, our inherent worth is not dependent on our accomplishments, our looks, our possessions, or what other people think of us. Self-doubt is a misperception of our true nature.
So when those self-doubts creep in, the first step is to recognize them as illusions, to see them as thoughts that aren't necessarily true.
Right. And you can use the affirmation for the lesson. Truth will correct all errors in my mind. Repeating that to yourself can help to shift your perception. It's like inviting the light of truth in to illuminate those shadows of self-doubt.
I like that. Okay, what about stress? I think a lot of people struggle with feeling overwhelmed and stressed out.
Definitely. And stress often comes from that feeling of lack of control, right? Like we're not going to be able to handle everything that's coming at us. But the truth is, we have an inner strength and resilience that we often underestimate.
We're more capable than we sometimes give ourselves credit for.
Absolutely. So when you find yourself feeling stressed, a really helpful practice is to pause, take a few deep breaths, and ask yourself, what is true right now?
And that brings you back to the present moment, out of that spiral of worry about the future and all the what ifs.
Exactly. It helps you to ground yourself in the reality of the situation, which is often far less dire than our minds make it out to be.
Okay, this is great. What about relationships? Those can be a real source of challenge and pain sometimes.
Oh, for sure. Relationships are where we tend to encounter a lot of those illusions of separation. We forget that we are all connected, that at our core, we are all expressions of the same love.
And that forgetting leads to hurt feelings, resentment, arguments, all that stuff.
Right. So when you're experiencing difficulties in a relationship, instead of immediately reacting from that place of pain, try to remember the truth of your shared connection. And, another big one for a lot of people is fear of the future. The uncertainty of what's to come can be really anxiety-provoking.
Oh, I've definitely been there. Worrying about health, finances, all the things that could go wrong.
But here's the thing. The future hasn't happened yet, and we're often projecting our past experiences and fears onto it.
So we're creating these worst-case scenarios in our minds.
And those scenarios are usually illusions. They're not based on any real evidence, just on our fears.
So what can we do when those fears start to take over?
Well, the lesson reminds us that only truth remains. When you find yourself spiraling into fear about the future, try repeating that affirmation to yourself.
It's a way of reminding yourself that those fears are just thoughts, and they don't have any real power over you. Now, there's one more area I'd like to touch on, and that's forgiveness. I think a lot of people get stuck in holding on to past hurts.
Forgiveness can be a tough one, but it's so important. Because when we hold on to anger, resentment, and blame, we're basically holding ourselves prisoner.
We're allowing the past to continue to hurt us in the present.
Right. And the truth is, the past is over. We can't change it. But we can choose to change how we relate to it.
So forgiveness is not about condoning what happened or saying it was okay. It's about releasing the emotional charge that we're still carrying.
And that's where the principle of truth will correct all errors in my mind comes in.
How so?
When we're stuck in unforgiveness, we're believing in the illusion that the past can still harm us. But the truth is, its power to hurt us diminishes when we choose to let go of the emotional attachment to it.
So saying truth will correct all errors in my mind in the context of forgiveness is like asking for a shift in perspective.
A shift from judgment and blame to understanding and compassion. And that shift ultimately opens us up to healing.
So, The common theme here, with all of these examples, is that instead of trying to fight our negative thoughts and feelings directly, the key is to recognize the underlying illusions that are fueling them.
And then to allow the truth to gently correct those errors in perception. It's not about force or suppression, but about surrendering to a higher understanding. So, as we wrap up here, I would invite you to consider which area of your life feels most burdened right now. Where do you feel the most resistance to peace?
Maybe it's one of the areas we've talked about, or maybe it's something else entirely.
But whatever it is, just hold that area in your awareness and ask yourself, what is the truth here? What might a more loving and peaceful perspective reveal?
And as always, we invite you to share any comments, questions, or experiences related to the course that this deep dive has sparked for you. You can reach us at ACIM at theworldharmonyproject.org. We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time.
Take care.